My today's topic will be the war of the world against Islam. I just want to start with the Protocols of Zion and a few other available pieces of literature where the world has already agreed several hundred years ago to destroy Islam. If you look at the recent history, starting with the last 200-300 years, we had the Habsburg Hungarian kingdom, Austrian-Hungarian kingdom, attacking and severely injuring and basically destroying the Ottoman Empire. And now we have again the recent so-called terrorist attacks, defaming all Islam or Muslim Islamic states. However, if you look closely and analyze precisely what has been happening, it's always the atheist Western world that has been using any possible lie that they could get to attack, to find reasons to attack Islam. I know a number of Muslims here in Germany, and they all ask me why the Germans have turned so atheist and have become so egoistic and evil during the last few years. They had Germany in mind as a nice, friendly country, but now people are cold, are not they're not trusting them anymore, and they're not understanding what has been happening. The Islam has been infiltrated by a few criminals, and these criminals have managed from within to defame all of Islam. We have a number of many good Muslims worldwide, and these Muslims have been not done anything wrong. Even a few refugees in recent weeks or months have found gold, have found this, and brought it to the criminal police. One could tell them that they should have not brought it to the police, because in Germany we have no police. It's just a corporate fake entity with a name police. They are the true criminals. But these Muslims have done the right thing from their perspective. But then we have a few others that are being paid by the Mossad and the CIA, and these guys have touched or harassed some women in Cologne. But you have to look behind the facade. Behind it all was again the CIA and the Mossad, or the German BND, which is another criminal terrorist organization. And all these terrorist secret service organizations get their money from the Rothschild Federal Reserve Bank in America. This bank operates a number of sub-branches, such as the International Monetary Fund, the European Central Bank, the Bank of England, the Bank of International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland. These are sub-branches of the Israeli Zionist terrorist organization that Rothschild maintains in this world. And they have a lot of agents, such as the Queen in the UK, Rockefeller, Morgan, Mario Draghi. Mario Draghi was or is still an employee of them. That's why his signature is on the euro bill. It's not the finance minister and the president of Germany that would have to have their place and space on a German currency. That's according to the German law and according to the international law. But no, we don't have any money in Germany anymore, because it's just a corporate fake from Rothschild, Germany, Frankfurt am Main, and Rothschild Federal Reserve Bank in America. And Rothschild has stated that they want to eliminate Islam. You can read it over and over in what they have been saying. Churchill, one of the Rothschild offsprings, has said during World War II that he wants to eradicate Islam. He wants to get rid of every Mohammedan person on this planet, because he thinks Islam and the Muslims do not treat properly their wives. But honestly, that's not his business. I mean, he can make sure and treat his family well, but he has no right to just defame a whole group, a whole religion, that this or this is not according to what he thinks is suits best. These guys like Rothschild and Churchill, they are the terrorists. Hitler himself was a Rothschild. Hitler himself has been meeting with his cousins, and he's been telling them that he wants a different world. He doesn't agree with the core Rothschild world financial domination plan. He sent his best friend Rudolf Hess to the UK to negotiate with Churchill, because Hitler didn't want to have a war, didn't want to have a persecution of all races. But the American and the Anglo-Saxon Rothschild branches disagreed with him and wanted to have a war, wanted to have a war against Islam, wanted to have a war against any freedom and peace-loving person on this planet. At that time it was the Germans behind Hitler, who didn't maintain any concentration camps. But every person, also my family and my parents and my grandparents, had to work in labor camps. Everybody during the war had to work. No Jew and nobody excluded. That's why no Jew can tell me there were labor camps. There were no labor camps. Everybody had to work, and my family also had a company during World War II, and we employed also Jewish and non-Jewish people, and we tried to not work for the war. We wanted to have peace. Probably just like any other natural, normal thinking person on this planet. But we don't want to have anything being told and implemented over us from America, from the crazy Americans and their mafia organizations like the CIA or the Federal Reserve Bank. Nor do we want to have anything to do with the mafia organizations from the UK, like the British Crown or the Vatican. They are all in the hand of Rothschild, because Rothschild has the financial power. He managed to get the financial power with the princes of Hessen 300 years ago, and then he financed Napoleon to start his first campaign against the Russians. Russia is still on the agenda of Rothschild. It's still in the protocols of Zion to defeat Russia. The Russian Empire didn't fall in the World War II, but it was their plan to also bring down Russia. Now we still have strengthening Russia, remembering the Rothschild Wars, World War I, World War II, the Napoleonic Wars, and be sure there's many other people like me, including the entire Muslim world, that remembers that these Rothschild banker gangsters, they don't have anything good in mind. And besides, it's not possible to eradicate an entire religion. Imagine how crazy these guys are. These are it's like in a science fiction movie. I want to get rid of all of them. This is really childish. They have a major problem. They can't get along with even one or two sitting together with them at one table. They are running away from their own inner feelings of hatred that they project into this or that people in a small level, and then they project it onto a global level, and then they finance here and there the whole world, so that we get a big war or smaller local wars that draw in all the other parties, such as now in the Middle East, in Syria, in Iraq. They give money through the Federal Reserve Bank to the European Central Bank, to Angela Merkel. Angela Merkel gives this money, forwards this money and these weapons that they buy with it to the Kurdish people. Then Obama and the Saudis support Islamic State, terrorists. But at the same time, it's different sides from the same coin, and it's meant to destroy Islam right now. Later on, and Sunni Islam at that moment. Later on, it will be Shia Islam. The Iranians are already aware of that, because they can look it up in the protocols of Zion and all the documents of the CIA and the long-term strategic planning from the Trilateral Commission and whatever you have in America. And you can also take the Russians. They are also aware that these folks have long-term planning with a plan to eradicate entire nations and races and religions. So I want you to look at it from that perspective, and to clearly, you need to distance yourself. We need to help each other. We are all brothers and sisters. We all come from the survivors of Noah's flood, all Muslims included. There is indication that these Zionist Jews, that they are not part of us, that they are the offspring, the genetic offspring of the grey aliens that already destroyed the moon during the nuclear wars before the flood on the moon. But still, even they originate when they were still human beings, before they incarnated their souls into grey, robotic, genetically, artificially created bodies. They were part of our human family. They would have to have psychiatric treatment so that they would see us again, all other mankind, as brothers and sisters again. This is the issue. It's the war and what they do and the control with money. That's the wrong approach, because this will lead into the abyss and the destruction and a bigger war, into the further growing of World War III. But what we need is to go back inside into the truth, open our hearts and try to make peace. Maybe this will help a little bit to give you a thought. See, I'm also a very peaceful person. I can forgive, but I really want to see that all this trouble this trouble stops. We can't go on like that. Okay, thanks a lot for listening. Salam alaikum, and peace be with you.